and learning environment in which members are empowered to develop leadership and communication skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Without further ado, I would like to call upon the president of our club. As we all know, Toastmasters Podium has really taken our club to the next level. Delhi club, the club, CDTM club is really progressing under his leadership. We all know how hardworking he is. And I really wanted to appreciate Toastmaster Podium for managing the club as well as his exams and his placements so well. It's not easy to manage everything and taking complete responsibility in the club as well. With this, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Podium on the physical stage.
Thank you, Sergeant Tom. How are you all? Great. Well, I just hope every time I come on stage, just through my energy, I can motivate you and pass on some of the energy to the members and the guests. Before we go ahead and start our 490th meeting of Central Toastmasters, let us take 30 seconds of silence for world peace. Thank you, everyone. Now, today, in my opening presidential address, I want to talk about an underrated part of Toastmasters, a part which is not very often talked about. This part is something that helped me grow, and this is not public speaking. This is not coming on the stage and talking to you and addressing each and every one of you. This was me becoming the president. Becoming the president of Central Toastmasters as someone who has none to almost no experience was something which was very exciting yet intimidating for me. Being a president is mostly of all roles, and I was honestly not ready. I was always sitting on the fence if I want to become or not. But people pushed me, people motivated me. The existing EC told me and they believed in me that I could do it. And trust me, that is all you need. Even if you cannot do it, if people believe in you, you can, and you will be able to do that task. It is always the people around you. And even right now, the current EC that I have is a group that I could have hoped for any better. This particular EC helps me through the tough times. This particular EC knows that even when I am not there, even when I am not sometimes completely confident, they are there to help me. Working in an EC has always been very exciting for me, not because I get to learn and work with other people, but also because I've come to know that how interesting it is when you can't do something and people help you out. When you are not able to do something and people are there to support you. Being an EC was one of those underrated experiences of Toastmasters that helped me grow, apart from definitely coming on stage every day and addressing you all. With that being said, I would like to take this moment to call upon the guests that we have today. We have guest Santosh with us. Guest Santosh, would you please come up on stage, tell us who you are, what do you do, and how did you come to know about Toastmasters? Guest Santosh.
I'm Santosh Martina, working in government.
How did you come to know about Toastmasters?
I came to know, so I think I previously I knew through just surfing through the net and just.
So you came across on the internet. All right. Thank you, guest Santosh. We have guest Abhay with us. Guest Abhay, please come on stage, tell us who you are, what do you do, and how did you come to know about Toastmasters? Guest Abhay, everyone.
So, hi everyone, I am Abhay Singh Bajwa and I'm pursuing my BCom from University of Delhi. And I have come here to Toastmasters with my friends. I came to know who are already Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you. We have guest Nivish with us. Guest Nivish, could you please come on stage, tell us who you are, what do you do, and how did you come to about Toastmasters?
Well, hello everyone. This is my third time I'm coming here. As most of you know me. For those who don't, my name is Nivish Adhikari, and I'm from Haldwani, Uttarakhand. I have completed my graduation from Purodimal College, and like only this year I've completed my graduation, and now I'm here to improve my public speaking. So I came to know about Toastmasters from the online sources, and got to know that I will be getting buddies who would guide me in this journey of public speaking. Thank you.
We have recently been joined by a guest. Sir, would you please come on stage, tell us who you are, what do you do, and how did you come to know about Toastmasters? Najmul. We have guest Najmul over here.
Good evening, everyone. I am Najmul Bada. Right now, I am pursuing BTech from Maharaja Agha Singh Institute of Technology. I came to know about the Toastmaster from my elder brother. That's
With that being said, I would now like to call upon our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Digan. Before calling him upon stage, Toastmaster Digan on Saturday recently was appointed as the managing trustee of a very, very influential trust. With that being said, I would like to call Toastmaster Digan on the stage with his topic leadership development. Toastmaster Digan.
good evening, CDTM. Good evening, CDTM.
Good evening. Now, that's what I call as good evening. So friends, leadership. Leadership in Toastmasters for me started really unexpected. I was a member of CDTM way back in 2020, and eventually I visited another club as part of giving my speech. I was there, and this club was really a struggling club. Members were not there, and morale was at all-time low. I delivered my speech. Suddenly, there was announced election is also there in the meeting. And I was willing to join the club also to help the club. There, I became DP membership that day of not just one club, but two clubs. Both of them struggling, both of them were rivals of each other. And then began a journey. Today, I am also going to take you on the same journey. As the Toastmasters International is motley of roles, various roles. The motley of different type of people, and most importantly, it is also having those leaders who sit on the fence and make a proper judgment so that decisions are right and direction is also right. Can you all tell me about the core values of Toastmasters? Floor is open for everyone. Come on. Any guesses?
One is integrity for sure.
Integrity.
Confidence.
Okay.
Helping each other grow.
So there are three I remember.
Okay.
Leadership.
Okay. Okay, here's my challenge to everyone in the house. I will ask this question again in the end, and you have to tell me all the four core values of Toastmasters International in the proper order that they are. And you will be actually winning a born will from, no, not just winning, you earn it. So friends, let me take you to my first role, VP membership. Now, I want all of you to tell me in just 2 lines how Toastmasters changed you. In any way, how Toastmasters changed you in 2 lines. Floor is open. Please raise your hand so that, okay, Toastmaster is
So I believe at first, at times, even if you're a good speaker, if you are not having a platform to hone that skill, it will surely one day wipe out away from your memory. So I guess first of all, a platform which gave me the platform to hone my skills first of all, and second, most importantly, to make some great friends, a great camaraderie, and how to work in a team, and to also revive my memories while I was in the school council, so working with the EC and stuff like that. I actually gave a pretty familiar ways, and obviously some relevant certificates for my future progression.
Toastmaster Puja.
I can just say it in one line, I can talk.
That's
That's
really
what
an
Toastmasters
impressive
has
thing.
done to me.
Before I move ahead with the next person in the room, I can share one anecdote. There was a person in 90s, probably, in CDTM, who came as a guest and who was sitting in the last. He was called upon by a table topic master to give his speech. In those 2 minutes, he used 20 times. And that person eventually became member. He progressed. Right now, all of us, we know that person as DTM Deepak Menon, who has been past international president of Toastmasters International. He has given countless speeches, visited countless clubs, held many positions, then even more than our age. So friends, Toastmasters can change anyone, anyhow, anytime. Toastmaster Anmol.
So if I have to say something about how it changed my life, it would be a paragraph. It would be a whole paragraph. But I'm very short in it. Here's the thing. I never had a proper sort of friendly sort of relationship with a lot of people. I never had that sense of camaraderie. But when I came to Toastmasters for the first time, I had that sort of family, or my camaraderie, my comrade, and I learned to speak better. That's about it. That's what Toastmasters is all about, and that's about it.
Thanks, Toastmaster Anmol. Yes, sir.
I think for me, the one thing that I always liked about my school life was confidence. Like I knew that I had a certain skill set, but for Toastmasters, for me, like I owe my entire life to Toastmasters. If somebody does not know, this is the factor about me, and the most important thing is better confidence.
Anyone else? The last one. Okay, so friends, as we noticed, Toastmaster Ritvik is speaking about how Toastmasters changed his life. Toastmaster Pooja is speaking about it. Toastmaster Guruvansh also is speaking about it. We can realize Toastmasters can change us in many ways. If it can change us, it can also change anyone else in this world. And VP membership is just there to say just one thing. Hey friends, Toastmasters changed my life. Toastmasters changed me. It made a positive impact in my life. If it can make a change in my life, I'm pretty sure it can make a big change in your life. The same thing we did. We worked tirelessly. We told everyone, yes, join Toastmasters is going to make your life much better. You will be able to see the change in your life. We will not have to tell you about it. Bet your life. And soon we became successful in reviving. Apart from this, VP membership role also involves answering the queries of members related to membership as the name signifies, vice president membership. Not just guests, it also involves members also related to their queries of how they are going to renew, etc. So friends, I will be taking you through the journey of leadership in Toastmasters, the basic leadership in Toastmasters. But Toastmasters meeting is a meeting where everything is structured, so that with a proper structure we can proceed in a better way towards our learning. The Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 parts. First part is prepared speech section, in which every person, in which as the name specifies, the speakers who have prepared for their speeches, they will be coming on the stage or the virtual screen, and they will be delivering their speeches. Connected to them will be an evaluator. Assigned to them will be an evaluator, about whom I will be talking at a later part of this introduction. Then comes the table topic session, which is definitely the most fun-filled session of any Toastmasters meeting. Trust me, even every Toastmaster fights like anything to participate in that section. Now, coming to the last one, but the most important one. If this section is not there in any Toastmasters meeting, trust me friends, that's not a Toastmasters meeting at all. This is the general evaluation section, in which everything that's going to happen in this meeting, right from the start, when Toastmaster Puja, the Sajata Tamsa started the meeting, till the end, everything will be evaluated by a team of role players. In this team will be those evaluators also who were assigned to the prepared speakers. So speaking about the last one first, let me introduce you to the team of such role players. The first person that I'm going to call on the screen told me about the leadership as, hi Digant, I believe the fact that the leadership is not something that you are born with, but it's a skill that is something that you inculcate within your lifetime. And those answers provide a great platform for the same. You can make numerous mistakes as a leader, but there's nobody to point out errors. Rather, there are people who can guide you in a right and a proper direction, in a constructive way. So friends, it is allowed to make a motley of mistakes and proceed forward in a constructive manner. Help me welcome on the screen the timer for the meeting, Toastmaster Guruvanshdeep.
Fun fact, there is a bad news. Time flies. The good news is that you are the pilot. Hello everybody, I am Toastmaster Guruvanshpreet Singh as the timer for the day. Now the session is divided into 3 parts, right? The first one is the prepared speeches section. So there are 2 types of speeches. Can you tell which one?
One is prepared and one is impromptu.
The one is prepared and one is impromptu, but from the time your perspective. There is an icebreaker speech and then there is a normal speech. So since there is no icebreaker speech, so I will just be telling the time limits for the 5 to 7 minutes normal speech. So at 5 minutes, a green card will be shown. Go on, go on. At 6 minutes, a yellow card will be shown, and at 7 minutes, as soon as you see it, stop speaking. But you know what? CDTM is a great club. So you will get a 30-second release towards the end so that you can conclude your speech. Another fun fact that you can have 30 seconds at the lower end as well. So if you have a little less content, don't worry. If you speak more than 4.5 minutes, you are still qualified. Next up is a table topic session. So again, 1 to 2 minutes. The time limit is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, a green card, 1.5 yellow, and at 2 minutes, a red card. And CDTM is a great club. So 30 seconds extra on the upper hand. And now for the evaluation speech evaluation, every evaluator will get 2.5 minutes. 2 minutes green, 2.5 yellow, and a 3 minutes red. CDTM is a 30 seconds waiver on both ends. And that was all from my side. Over to you.
Thanks, Toastmaster Gurvansh, for such a nice introduction of your role. Friends, I am 32 years old. And as can be understood from the fact, we have to take on many responsibilities of family, of kids, etc. Sorry, I am unmarried, so but suppose it is. And also about job and many other things. But I met a person who really inspired me by taking leadership role at just the age of 20 years. So help me welcome on the screen the parliamentarian for the meeting, Toastmaster Pradyumn for his role.
What an interesting thing that we have today, leadership development. Now, before I move on further, what is that one key component that you see in every leader? Hands up, everyone.
Great communication.
Great communication, yes. Good one, please.
Leadership skills.
Yes, that was wow. That is something. Anmol, confidence, yes.
Professionalism, discipline.
Nivish,
Ability to influence others.
that is correct. All of these answers are correct. Personally, what I was looking for, according to my role, was discipline. Every leader is always someone who is very disciplined. Today, my role includes a motley of responsibilities. I would be telling you to make sure that your phones are silent. Please check everyone. Your phones are silent. The audience on the virtual stage, make sure that you're muted. Make sure that your videos are on. And if the listener has some goodies, I would request the listener to please pass them on instead of throwing them while they are distributing the goodies. As for the members, please make sure that any references to caste, creed, race, sex, or religion are not taboo, but make sure that you are on the fence when talking about these topics. And lastly, before concluding, make sure that each member and guest comes or leaves the room only on applause. With that being said, I would give out my final report in the evaluation segment. Back to the team org.
Speaking about the listener and taking cue from what Toastmaster Ritik has also said about the communication being a sign of leadership, I remember about a person who told me recently the effective communication is one of the many qualities that leader needs. Toastmaster is professionally competent on developing the skills required for their effective communication. Hence, it can aid in that. So help me welcome on the screen the listener and the most favorite person, one of the most favorite persons for me. Listener for the meeting, Toastmasters Dhanil, to explain us, to tell us about his role.
Nice introduction. Okay, today my role is a listener. Okay, so I want to just have a context. There are two types of communication basically. The first is verbal and the second one is the non-verbal. So can anyone guess how much percent a non-verbal communication? Any other guess? Okay. Everybody means it is too high. Non-verbal communication counts to 60 to 90% according to many studies. All are right, basically. And by words, no, what we express by words is only 6%. study states, whatever we are telling by words or vocabulary or that counts only 60%. So here comes the role of listener. I am not the mere listener here, everybody are a listener. So I encourage everyone to check the fact and continue. Thank you.
Thanks, Toastmaster Dhanil. So, friends, recently I met a person who told me about her views on leadership, and that was really inspiring. She told me about being punctual to the Toastmasters meeting, as she is a sergeant at arms for the meeting, and she has to prepare everything. Sergeant at arms has responsibility that everything is just ready before the meeting starts. And for that, she's always punctual. And I'm son of a doctor. And I'm 13 years old, as I told you all. And I have a track record of getting scolded 32 years. No, sorry, 33 years, probably in my womb, in my mother's womb also, about getting late by my father. Even if I reach 5 minutes before, he makes it a point to scold me. Why are you 5 minutes before? Why not 10 minutes? So friends, while I relish in my nostalgia regarding my father, let's welcome on the screen the language evaluator and the art counter for the meeting, Toastmaster Pooja.
Well, language plays a very important role in communication. We all have seen multiple times it has happened. I don't know if with everyone, but it has happened with me a few times where a language can either break a relationship or make a relationship. So unclear communication and not so proper usage of language may lead to poor communication. And I think that's where Toastmaster really helps us in improving our communication skills, which will lead us to become a better leader. So with this, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests present here. I'm Pooja Kutecha and I'll be playing the role of language evaluator and an accountant. This is the first time I think I managed to cross 1 minute while I'm speaking. So I'll keep it short. The word of the day has been used multiple times. I'm already glad. So can someone please help me explain the meaning of the word motley? Excellent. Anyone else? Exactly.
Variety of things.
Anyone wants to
Variety
try
of
making a sentence with it? Wonderful. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anmol and Toastmaster Ritwik. And the idiom of the day is sit on the fence, which means that someone who is not being able to take a side when suppose there's an argument happening and you don't want to take a side, you want to be neutral. So I highly encourage everyone to use the idiom of the day and the word of the day. And also, whenever if the members are using it, I request other members to kindly show a thumbs up as a sign of encouragement. I'll be back at the end of the end of the meeting with my evaluation. Thank you. Over to the team audience.
Thanks, Toastmaster Pooja, for explaining to us about your role, and that's really inspiring that you are wearing two hats today. So I was contacting a person. He told me the most lovely thing about Toastmasters leadership is whether you have 50 years of work experience, sorry, no jargon, or you are just 12 grade pass out. We all work together as same in one line, like a piece of pearl necklace. Every pearl is as good and as beautiful as the other, and aligned together, they make a beautiful piece. With such a nice simile, don't get just caught away with the thing that he is into nice similes and poetry, because he is going to make us laugh like anything. So help me welcome on the screen the joke master for the day, Toastmasters Arvind.
Thank you very much, Toastmasters. Today, good evening, Motleys. Isn't our Toastmasters the best looking Toastmaster that we ever have on this stage? Aren't we agree with it? Yes. Indeed. So today I'm here. Today the topic is about talking about the leadership. So one of the approach that I love in leadership is CRC approach. That means comment, recommend when you have a feedback for someone, and then again comment. This is the best thing that I've learned in life from Toastmaster. But before I was aware of this approach, even before I joined Toastmaster. I'll tell you how. Because my ex-girlfriend used to apply this approach on me. Yeah, that's true. I'll explain you how. How many of you believe you always fall for people who actually have opposite behavior than us? Exactly. This happened with me as well. Fortunately, I have been in relationship with all the women who were intelligent. Did I say I am dumb? No, that I didn't mean that. Okay. So my girlfriend asked me one day, she just joined the office. She started working and she has examination. It's been 6 months and she was really busy with the things. I tried to help her out. I asked, how can I help you? She said, you can't help me. I said, try. I can help. I'm a good man. I know everything. She said, okay, let's leave everything apart. Just write an article on will India become a superpower? Will India become a superpower? I said, oh, that's a pretty easy job. I can do it with my left hand. She said, are you sure? I said, I can do it in my dreams. She said, are you sure? I said, yes. She said, how long are you going to take? I said, 10 minutes. She said, I'll give you a day, just write it because it's a matter of my career. Write it and show it to me next day. I said, okay, fine. Next day I met her, I showed the article, she read it. It was a 4-page article that she looked at. And once she finished, she took 10 minutes reading that article. She looked at the article, then she looked at my face, deep breath. And then she said, Arvind, can I borrow your brain? I was so happy with that. I was on cloud 9. Oh, an intelligent woman asking for my brain, my intelligence. I asked out of curiosity, why, sweetheart? She said, as per neuroscience scientists, they all need a brain which is not ever being used. And I was like, what do you mean by that? She said, every time I'm reading this article, it makes me feel like how intelligent I am. By the way, that was second recommendation. And third, she said, it's okay, Arvind. Even stupid people, being stupid is not a crime. You still can go free and live your life. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Toastmaster Arvind, for telling us about that thing. And that same thing was said by my girlfriend for me. No, she used to live in Bhopal. So, help me welcome on the screen the first evaluator for our speakers, Toastmaster Rashmi Sikri, to share with us about the speech objective. She's on the screen. You can have a look.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, all, and a special evening to Toastmaster Kanav. Toastmaster Kanav is going to deliver his level 1 speech, project 3 speech under strategic relationship. As far as I remember, he used to be a person who used to sit on the fence initially, and now he seems to grow up to a speaker who has motley of things to share with all of us. So without wasting our time, I would just like to wish him all the very best for his speech, and back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thanks, madam. Thanks, Toastmaster Rashmi, So I met our speaker, and he told Digant, I'm trying to work for the leadership. I'm trying. What does this mean? Ask Abraham Lincoln, who tried hard, who was even judged as insane at one point, but he tried hard. He never let his guard down. People might be sitting on the fence or not on the fence, but he kept his resolve strong. And at the end of the day, he became the President of the United States. Not just the President of the United States, but one of the most memorable presidents ever heard of. So help me welcome on the screen. Just 1 second. Toastmaster Colonel, psycho lawyer, Toastmaster Colonel.
So, do you believe that you can be the best version of yourself? So, I'll say you are also capable of being the worst version. Like, spend a time, a year in Venezuela, you will understand what poverty is and how you will start doing crime in 1 month, and second month you will be trying to come back. So there are very many studies like Stanford prison experiment which said that. So my title, psycho lawyer, was about my a lawyer who's studying psychology. So I'm a bit nervous right now. So first thing I would say that I would like to my 1 year has completed as a lawyer last week. So I just wanted to share some of my learnings in both of the fields, in psychology as well as law. So first thing being that confidence. If there's an illusion of confidence, which probably I have, that if you are confident about everything, then you are full of H1T. So, like, he didn't play my joke full. So my joke was, I'm trying to be a leader, but vote nahi mil raha. So I was confident enough that I can do in anything. Because I lost in 3. First being like there's an illusion of confidence. Like if you say anything with confidence, anything, it should useless thing, you still get more respect. Even if you are saying when you say a bad thing, you won't get that much respect than a confident guy. So that's why you should join Toastmasters. So ये हो गया VP membership का. VP. So I have an Instagram account on law. I have 1,000 followers on that. That's the proof of concept. I think I can do that as well. So, and I think I give good introduction to people as well. So I think I can do everything very well. But that is just the illusion of confidence. Sometimes. हो जाएगा देख कर लेंगे. So in courtroom,
There, just a piece of advice is that if a lawyer says something, just agree with him and say the same thing to judge. Most of people get into emotion and say whatever, and the case get lost. So don't do that. Second advice is uh, like we all can have a criminal case against us because women is biased towards women. So for the men. So is like the standard case for divorce is woman file a wife file for a fake case because if she doesn't, maintenance won't be there. So for maintenance, as पैसा जरूरी है तो करना पड़ता है. Then the relationship guy takes on himself ego. So the relationship can get worse if not. Most lawyers don't. Come on. Come on. One question can change an entire conversation. It has so much power. Try it sometimes. It can. So I have done many times. Okay. So if a fight happens, be the first one to go to the police. Because police always favor who goes first. Though even though they don't will register FIR, they take time most of the time. But be the first one if a fight happens. Any other? Especially related to divorce. You're not married. That's a big question. Sorry. Like choose a lawyer who is good, and basically a good lawyer is one who uses case law. Okay. So I just say last thing that most criminals are criminals because they are not happy, and most successful people are there because they are not happy. So choose correctly. It's because you progress with when you are not comfortable. That's all. Thank you so much. So, as our friend Kanav told us about divorce, I remember one of my friends is a divorce lawyer. And as soon as I came to know about him being a divorce lawyer, I made a promise to him. My friend, we ate in the same plate. And since we are in the hostel, even we were in the same, sorry, I'm not going to quote it more, but we were pretty much living the same life together. But that doesn't mean I will be letting my wife meet you. Since you are a divorce lawyer and you can have a promise from me that till I go to my grave, I will not let her meet you. because for you, she will mean business. For me, she will mean life. So let me call on the screen our second evaluator for the meeting, Toastmaster Navya, the Vice President Education for the club, to explain to us about the speech objectives of the speech. Toastmaster Navya.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Okay, great. So I'm here to read out the speech objective for Toastmaster Aviral. He will be delivering his level 1 project 3 speech under the pathway presentation mastery. And the purpose of his project is to practice using vocal variety and body language to enhance the speech. So I am supposed to evaluate him on the basis of the vocal variety he uses in his speech. So I wish him all the very best, and let's hear him out. Back to TM Modi.
Thanks, Toastmaster Navya. So, as per our second speaker, the best place to enhance your leadership skills. And Toastmaster, this is the best place to enhance your leadership skills. And Toastmaster has answered all his questions on how an organization functions. Most importantly, it functions on the basis of trust, on the basis of reliability. So help me welcome on the screen, Toastmaster Aviral, the city of love, Toastmaster Aviral.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. What does it feel like to fall in love with a city? What does it feel like to watch mountains from your terrace? It must be a beautiful feeling, right? Well, trust me, this feeling can't be expressed in any words. Good evening to the fellow Toastmasters and the guests present here. My name is Aviral, and today I'm going to be sharing some memories of a boy who was totally new to a city, but within a few months, he had fallen in love with that place. And that boy is, of course, me. Imagine reaching a city by those hilly paths. Imagine to have a beautiful house between those hills. And that city is none other than the city of love, that is Dehradun. When I shifted to Dehradun, I was a bit emotional that I left my old friends behind. So the initial months were quite tough for me to adjust in a new city with new people all around. But I gradually started to like that place. And we had a nice house with nice greenery, nice garden, which included trees of mangoes, lychee, guava, and I swear we never purchased even a single fruit from the market. And in fact, we had to sometimes distribute them among the neighbors because they were in so much abundance. And my mother was so crazy to pluck the fruits, and she didn't even single one fruit to go in vain. And you know who was her enemy? The monkey gang. Those of you who don't know, the monkeys can literally destruct your garden, and if somehow they enter your house, my lot of sympathy to you. Well, monkeys and I have a special bond. And you know what that bond is? Chhattis ka aakda. I remember when I used to return from my tuition classes, in a midway there was a street which was quite steep. And it used to be super dark, super lonely, and it was just me and monkeys. And of course, it was not at all romantic. The monkeys are the ones who used to deteriorate the situation, sitting in a group of two or three, around 30 to 50 monkeys, just mocking me by making weird noises like. And the only inner voices that I used to hear at that time was, Avi, run as hard as you can, otherwise, these monkeys will make your butts more red than any tomato. As the time passed, it was quite normalized to see them in my garden. Those monkeys were the only ones who used to live totally rent free, on top of that, with free fruits too. I don't know what magic that city had. The calmness, the peace. It was all mesmerizing. And you know what makes that city more beautiful? It's rain. Well, I feel that rain somehow heals people. People used to stare at the windows, and when they used to see that it's raining, and boom, it's a smile on their face. I spent my entire lockdown there. It was a very hard situation for, of course, me and for the whole world. But being in that city, enjoying the solitude was a different experience. You can't feel the beauty of that city in just one day. It's a thing that is felt when you live there for a long term. And then you realize what makes that city special. Well, if you go to Old Rajpura Road, you can find a number of small cafes and many people sitting there with a cup of tea and coffee in their hands while enjoying the climates and the surroundings. The place has such a positive vibe that you just put every negative thought that ever comes to your mind at the back burner and just enjoy the weather. And finally, your own positive and optimistic thoughts with yourself. Dehradun as a city has a big role in what I am right now. I was always been a timid guy in the classroom till 11th standard. Rarely I used to speak to anybody. I used to love being in my comfort zone with almost zero social skills, and barely I could talk to a stranger and forget about public speaking. At that time, when I shifted to Dehradun, I had two options: to remain in the bubble of comfort zone or to take a challenge to burst that bubble. It was not that easy to suddenly switch to the other side and change my personality. But I started to put myself at positions where I could feel uncomfortable or I could embarrass myself. There is a beautiful quote that I heard somewhere, which goes like, if you see yourself getting embarrassed or uncomfortable, you're on the right path. That new city gave me the right path, the right opportunity to get to know more people and to have a new me. And I started to take the charge. And yeah, if I would have never shifted to that city, I would have remained like a shy guy. So I owe a lot to the city, and I'm quite young to say this, but I will surely love to build a house in Dehradun someday and enjoy my retirement there. Thank you.
Thanks, Toastmaster Aviral, for such a nice speech. I became nostalgic and remembering about the time I visited Dehradun and was a guest at Indian Military Academy. So friends, let's take some time to post our feedback for our first speaker and the second speaker also. Meanwhile, let me tell you about our third speaker. He is 19 years old. He hails from a beautiful place called Kashmir, and he is passionate about entrepreneurship. He runs an advertising agency and currently studying in 2-year BCom from Delhi University. Trust me, Pooja, you have selected the correct word, motley. We have a motley of inspiration in Toastmasters. His experience in Toastmasters in terms of leadership has been exponentially increased as he started to put his hands on working for elections. Currently serving as Associate VPPR and DT membership, he can say that he has learned how to do sales and how to handle multiple people throughout the meeting. He started to apply his learned skills from Toastmasters in his business as well as college. And he can say that he handled a marketing team of one society in his college and have learned that what it takes to become a good leader. I remember about a person in one of the clubs who came to Toastmasters meeting and was just sitting near the door. Was just barely able to speak a broken English, not even for 1 minute. Eventually, as the time flew, he became VP membership of the class. Can anyone tell me what might have been the result? For his public speech, not as he worked as VP membership, so he briefed members and potential guests also. He was third in a table topic contest of 14 contestants. And his public speaking was really amazing. So one of the best ways to learn public speaking is becoming a PP membership. Now, let me call on the screen our third and the last evaluator for the meeting, Toastmaster Ankit, to share with us about the speech objective. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Devang, for welcoming me on the stage. And today our speaker, Toastmaster Sahajdeep, is going to present a speech on any topic. The purpose is to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, apply feedback on the next speech. So today he's going to receive feedback. I request him to kindly note down the feedback whatsoever being provided at the time of evaluation. Task name is presentation mastery, and project is evaluation and feedback. Time is 5 to 7. Stages for a time being to the TM voting, then to our speaker.
So, help me welcome on the screen Toastmasters Sahajdeep. Motivation is a trap. Motivation is a trap. Toastmasters Sahajdeep.
I got so much of work to do. I'm so tired. What should I do now? Maybe I should procrastinate. I have a lot of work to do. No, I can check out motivational video on YouTube. Yeah. You can just open YouTube. Types motivation video. Yeah, that's great. Oh, Anjali message. Wow. Shall I ask her for a day? Can we go for it? She just broke my heart again. Let me see. Broke my heart. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, this can be you. This can be you in any scenario. I can assure you 100% that unless and until you procrastinate, there is some reason. Would any one of you would like to suggest why you procrastinate? Any valid reason? Anyone? Laziness. Anything else? Because you won't get results. But the answer is you don't usually like the book. If you are procrastinating something, this means you don't like that work to do. And what you do, you begin to watch some motivational stuff on social media. And I am 110% sure you will move from one app, then another, then another, then another, and that it will go simultaneously. And this is the trap which we fall in. Do you remember currently on social media, two guys are trending on Instagram, on social media. These are two guys, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. I know many of you know them. Do you know? So basically what they have done is, for example, person X is delivering his product or service. He asks that particular customers to reach him out on the social media or to promote their videos. And in return, what they get, the customer gets 15% off, and while the producer, the company, gets advantage of more customers. So this is all about psychology, which marketing, which we are getting tracked in, and we usually follow motivation for getting our work done. But you know, it is a short-term pleasure which we are getting. I used to remember when I was in my Kashmir, when I was in my 11th class, I used to go to the gym. Maybe it doesn't seem like I don't go to the gym, but yeah, at that point of time, I used to go to the gym. And you know, in cold climate, you are very lazy. You don't feel like going to, work out and all this. So what you used to do, I used to watch motivational stuff, like motivational gym videos. And there I saw people lifting weights like this, scratching this, and that gave me energy. And then I started to go to the gym. I started to lift weights and all. After 30 minutes, I was like, should I go home now? I've been sweating. So this short-term pleasure or this short-term thing, which actually makes you deceives your work not to do, is just for a short term. If you are relying your whole work on a short term, you will fall in a trap. And I'm 110% sure. Why I'm saying again, repeating 110% sure? Because you all relate with it. Everybody of us procrastinate here. Can I have a raise of hands? Sure. Yeah. Good. So what earlier times, what motivation was, it was a mentorship. Like we used to have a mentors for a specified reason. For example, if I want to move to the Canada, mini Punjab, what I would do? I would try to search on YouTube that how to get to Canada after 12 class. Rather than what I can do is go to some experienced person, get some mentorship and ask him that I want to go there, so what are the pros and cons there? How could I be better there? How can I go there? And all those stuff. But what we used to do, go on the social media and do this stuff. And do you realize that how much time you have wasted? Just analyze how much screen time you have on your screen right now. You will be astonished. It's like I have just wasted this kind of my life. Like I'm currently 19 years old, and I'm really confident that I run a social media marketing agency of my own. And that's a great thing. I guess everybody you will applause for me, and that's the reality. But how I had done it? Because I didn't fall in this. We all are here to learn and grow. And we, the Toastmasters, are easily identifiable in the crowd because of our skill, because why we are here. We are here to learn and grow. And I don't want that all of the members of the Toastmasters, especially who come into this room, they are falling into this trap. Anybody of you have any experience regarding a motivation, like how motivation have helped you in your life? Anybody? I have the power, I can volunteer anyone. So if you will, that will be good. Then would you like to tell how motivation has helped you in your career?
I was just thinking while you were telling about it that what has motivated me to do something well in my career. Well, again, I'll talk about Toastmasters. The motivation has really helped me come regularly for the meeting, and has really helped me improve my communication skills. And what motivated me is because I'm an entrepreneur and I need to interact with a lot of clients, and there are a lot of communication at various levels, from vendors to different people. And in every area you need to talk, negotiate, be able to talk. So that has motivated me to come here and improve my communication skills.
Let's say, like you have learned so much from motivation, but do you think that it is a long-term thing you will establish in your own career? Like, do you think it's long-term?
Yes, it is. The motivation, right?
Yeah.
Well, consistency, like obviously motivation will also, sometimes you'll be motivated and some days you will not feel like doing, but consistency is what. So today I didn't feel like coming. I'm just giving an example. Like today I didn't feel like coming for a meeting at all, but I have decided I want to be consistent, and that's what will be sustainable in the long run. So I feel that motivation along with consistency is what keeps one going.
One last question. Do you like your work?
I love my work.
That's why you don't need motivation. But I said earlier, if you love your work, you will do. If you have some task, if you don't like it, you will procrastinate. But you go on. You have work you have to do. There is no other option. But tell me one thing. Late in 90s, when your father, your grandfather, when they were growing in their career, they nurtured you. You are here right now. Do you think that they have seen that motivation stuff? At that time, there was no technology or something like that. So do you think that how they were like getting motivation from? The answer is simple. You have work, you have to do. Only one thing keep you constant and motivated, that is the responsibility. If you have obligation, you will do it yourself. So I request you, don't fall into this trap, because motivation is the trap. Over to you, team.
That's really amazing thing. I am a self-motivated person. Toastmaster PhD. I pronounced the name correctly. Actually, I was born underweight. Now I am gaining weight because of motivation. So, coming to the thing that you have told about, the public relations, the VPPR job is one of the roles that develops us strongly. As you can see from the speech of Toastmasters PhD, he was a VP and he is an associate VPPR. and he worked in his role. That gave him confidence, know-how, and many other things required to launch his own marketing company. Trust me, friends, COVID has taught us very, very well what it means to know marketing digitally. People have run their business. I know my uncle, maternal uncle, whom I visited few months back at Firozabad. He has a good business in Bengal because Firozabad is called Bengal City of India. Earlier, they used to work upon just writing the checks, writing on the paper. But now they have moved from that to getting the orders on the WhatsApp, on Facebook, on email. My father always told me, Digant, don't send me this document in paper. Send me this document on mail. That's very well taught us what it means to be tech savvy and knowing the digital marketing. So friends, PPPR job is going to prepare us for that. And secondly, the job of president, I would say, is probably one of the most commendable jobs I have seen. I became acting president of one of the clubs when the president lost his father due to some sad reasons. And I was there, I had to keep an eye upon all the timelines till the president is away in the period of mourning. And I came to understand that you have to keep track. So the skills of supervision get strengthened. I'm pretty sure that Toastmaster Pradyumn will agree with me. So friends, as I'm moving towards our next section, our table topic master told me one thing that's common for true leadership. Firstly, understand the team. Understanding the team, people, or any individual, and then responding. The Toastmasters gives us opportunity to practice this exactly, and I'm pretty sure that all the 7 people in executive committee will agree with me. So help me welcome on the screen the table topic master for the meeting, Toastmaster Bhavanand.
Thank you. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Leadership. What do you mean by leadership? Leadership means any work that can be completed in a successful way. And for leadership, there are some qualities. That qualities are discipline, communication skills, confidence. And this is the platform where we get all these things. So, in all these 3, one of them, communication skills. So most of us, we don't get this skill by birth. We practice it. And then we have mastered over this skill. So impromptu skills, that is one of the best skills where you develop your decision-making capability. So today, I am table topic master, and here all participants, especially guests, can participate. So already TM Gurpreet has told you about timing in very lovely way. After 1 minute, green signal would be shown. It means you are doing well. And after 1 minute, 30 seconds, yellow signal will be shown. It means now you have to alert. And after 2 minutes, you have to more alert, or I would say now danger sign has come. So you have to bind up. So session is going to start. Firstly, I would like to take participants from physical stage. Yes, who want to volunteer? Yes, please come. Are you guest or Toastmaster? Let me guess. Yes. Your name? Well, okay.
What's the height by the way? 6'5". 6'5".
Your topic is you have been opted for Prime Minister for 1 day.
Yeah. So if I've been appointed as the Prime Minister, first I'll assume that whatever I do, I will not be stripped of my post in that 1 day. And assuming that, let us start with what I'll do. So first of all, I'd actually start with a very controversial topic, which kind of bugs me every time I pay for any exam, which is reservation. So I'm going to actually revoke reservations of all types in all government and institutions as well as colleges. So once that happens, we are good to go with our other schemes. So the next thing I'll do is actually call up a meeting of all my council members, and the first thing I'll do is actually fire them all and hire a new team, educated youth who are actually concerned about what is going on in the country and not about filling their own banks and treasury. So that is the second thing I'll do, and after that, once I'll shift to the focus towards the most important thing, and being Prime Minister of India, which is a very big country and a country which has a lot of influence. And so I'll actually start focusing on the things that actually matter, like climate change, and rather than focusing I'll actually instead of focusing on other things like instead of focusing on things like what is happening in our nation in Bollywood and all, I would actually focus on the plight of the people who are working, or the working class, as well as like the farmers and actually, in that 1 day, not much can be done, but it will be good start. And I hope that with my work, I'll actually inspire the other people to step forward as politicians. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, very nice. So this is the platform where you learn medley of skills, and I say this session is the heart of Toastmasters Club. So next, who want to participate? Please raise your hand. Okay, please come. Are you guest or I'm guest? What is your name? Okay. Okay, your topic is 1 day you see in park your girlfriend is dating with other guy.
But I don't have a girlfriend, so what would I say?
Imagine.
So, hello everyone. So, the topic given to me is quite hard for me to think actually. So, going on a park and finding my girlfriend dating with someone else. So, first of all, having a girlfriend, that is quite an achievement for me. And then seeing her dating with someone else would be quite disturbing, obviously. But yes, if I found my girlfriend dating with some other guy, that obviously means that she's not interested, and I should give her some time. And obviously, communication is one of the things that would that has the ability to solve the thing. So obviously, after that moment passes and another day, I would talk to her on this matter. And why wait for another day? I would go to her on that same moment and get to know who that guy is. So they are actually dating or are just communicating or are friends. So, but yes, since the topic is that she's dating that other guy, I would talk to her other day and get to know what were the reasons. Or I would simply give her time to deal with it, and I would. What would I do? Yeah, I don't know. uh, yeah, the thing is that if she is dating, if she is dating any other guy, it obviously means she is not interested in me, and I would continue with my work and no. Thank you.
Thank you. This is the stage where you can't be sit on a fence. If you are a Toastmaster, you must have to come on a stage. So who is the next? Who is the next one? Please raise your hand. Please come. Yes. You.
Next one, we can have in the word.
Yeah, sure. Toastmaster Gurpreet. Gurvanshpreet.
Gurvanshpreet.
Okay. Your topic is one day you go to zoo and suddenly you confront with lion. Please help.
You have 36 seconds to think.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a sunny afternoon. I'm in the zoo cafeteria probably because like I'm a foodie person, right? And trust me, I don't share food. And I see a lion. My first reaction, oh, brother from another mother. But my other reaction will be a little bit of pride, a little bit of seeing the lion. By the way, is he in a prison or he is like roaming around?
Yeah. Outside.
He is outside the zoo. Okay. So I promise that I won't be wet. But again, seeing the zoo, obviously I'll run away. I'll run away thinking that, oh, he might eat me. Because let's all be practical. Who won't be frightened? Everyone would be like, "Arey, ये तो शेर है. इससे क्या ही लड़ना, मैं भी शेर पुत्र हूँ." But will it actually happen? Like, think about it. If we see it on a practical ground, then obviously everybody will run away because that person would not want to become a breakfast or lunch for the dinner sitting in a cafeteria, right? So that was all. I would run away. As simple as it may sound, yes, that's true. Thank you so much.
So now next, I would like to take participants from virtual stage. PM Rasmi, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
PM Rasmi, your topic is when you wake up, you found you are inside water.
When I woke up, I found myself in water.
You wake up, you found you are inside water.
So what would a person do if a person wakes up and finds himself or herself in water? Yes, Toastmaster Bhavanand, first of all, I would like to know, what would you do? So it's very easy. It's as simple as that, to put a question and to put somebody in that situation, and you have done that. So
Yeah, it
imagining
is very nice.
myself.
It is very nice. I take this topic. I will give you another topic. Should I continue?
No. I am speaking on the same topic only. So if I find myself in water, I would initially be terrified, because after trying so many times, I could never hone my skills to be a very, very good swimmer who would be able to swim in deep water. Deep water, as this word comes to my mind, I am terrified, because howsoever hard do I try, I need a person to accompany me if I have to swim in the deep water. So it depends whether I would be in deep water, then I would be struggling to breathe, struggling to come out, and I would be looking here and there for the help. Or if it would be a shallow water, then definitely I would be cool. I would be trying to feel safe, and I will be trying to show as if, oh, there's nothing to worry. But still, I would say that imagine and getting up in the water is really something that scares me. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Wonderful, PM Rasmi. So next participant.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all. Thank you everyone for participating.
Thanks, Toastmaster Bhavanand. I have been 2 tenures as secretary, so I can understand one thing. It always helps us in our listening skills and awareness, since we have to write a report on whatever has happened in the meeting. For example, if today Toastmaster Gurpreet is not here, he might want to know about what has happened in the meeting. And I, as secretary, if I am there as secretary, I can help him know about that. And also strengthen up my listening skills. Secondly, as treasurer is something which involves money, and money involves trust. So if you are a treasurer, you have the opportunity to strengthen the trust of the people. And I have been multiple tenures as treasurer, and I know one thing. Every time any transaction happened, within 1 hour, I reported the person about the transaction and the payments. And the people were much more motivated to renew next time. So if you want to actually have the taste of how you can strengthen the trust of people in leadership and enjoy that feel, Tesla is the place for you. Now I am going to call a person who has been a former VP membership, former VP PR, and also former VP education. And he also happens to be the general evaluator for the meeting. Toastmaster, Nitik.
Now, you know what makes a leader different from the days he had spent previously coming out from the ashes, rising up as a phoenix, and then doing all the wonders that he wants to. You know, it all involves great sort of practice and evaluation. Because you know what? If you do not evaluate yourself, if you do not have a graph chart of your progress, then how are you able to assess what are the needs of your personality or your leadership skills? So for this purpose, the role of the general evaluator becomes indispensable for judging your skill and giving you a mark sheet, or I would say a chart graph of your progress. So for this purpose, I'm here. I am Ritvik Dash, today's general evaluator, playing the role of someone who had an eye on you throughout the meeting. Now, the thing is, we in Toastmasters, we always believe in having a positive recommendation for everyone out here. There is no place for getting insulted. There's only place for getting recommendations and suggestions. Because those are the only things which will make you move. And in this meeting, we had a structure in the evaluation segment where I will be calling upon the evaluators of the prepared speakers here on the stage, hearing out their evaluations, then moving forward with the opposite role players, and then ending up with a holistic and comprehensive evaluation of the whole meeting. Now, for that, guys, I know I'm looking like an elf, so let's not laugh, but rather move forward with the first evaluator of today's evening. We had TM Rashmi. TM Rashmi, the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator of the Day. And very good evening to all of you once again. Toastmaster Kanav, he has delivered his level 1, project 3 of his speech. And the title of the speech was Psycho Lawyer. Very intriguing one, and kept me thinking what he is going to deliver in that speech. But very soon he revealed it, and he began his speech with a smile. He tried to sprinkle humor in the beginning, which really made me hopeful that he is growing as a speaker. But very soon he said that he was feeling nervous and he could not bring all the motley of ideas and organize it properly into the speech. Yet I would commend him that he continued with his speech. He took the help of notes and carried on till end. So it's really good on the part of Toastmaster Kanav. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Kanav. Carry on like that. And I must also recommend Toastmaster Kanav for recommending the Toastmaster Club in his speech. Only thing is, I would like him to incorporate the things that are taught, the message that is delivered in Toastmaster, or the way we are benefited in Toastmaster into his speeches also. Anyway, we are bound to recommend also while evaluating the speaker. So the speaker should try to organize his speech according to the evaluation form that he had sent. He should have a well-organized speech. For that, he needs to have content, and he should have proper ideas to begin, to have a middle, and to end his speech. He is in a habit of using Hindi sentences or words in between which he doesn't translate. So if he does use these Hindi words or phrases, do make it a point to translate it in English. And the speaker is requested only one thing, that Tiger Woods was asked once, what is the key to your success? And he said, practice, practice, and practice. So with the same message being delivered to the speaker, that is Toastmaster Kanav, I would like to wind up by saying that Toastmaster Kanav, you tried well, but keep on trying, practice, practice, and practice. Surely you will become a good speaker. Back to you.
Well, what a wonderful way of evaluating someone or giving positive recommendation at the end, ending up with a pinch of motivation from someone. So it's like really commendable. Now in Toastmasters, we also believe in choosing and respecting public opinion. For that, we have an instrument of elections here. So So kindly do choose your best speaker and the best table topic speakers. So the speakers we have today were PM Kanav, please raise your hand. And secondly, PM Aviral on the virtual stage and PM Sahajji, please raise your hands. So these are the speakers, you got to choose among them who is the best speaker. So kindly vote and exercise your democratic right. And a second, we also have our table topic speakers in the sense. So for that, I would really request the ones who have spoken to please raise your hand. So sir, first your name please. Abhay. So please, and Nilesh, Guruvansh, Yuri, and any more? Rashmi ma'am. So we have 4 guys for the table topic speakers. So kindly exercise your vote and choose the best one among them. Take 2 checks on one place. Write the ones who are good speakers and the ones who are best table topic speakers. Let the box roll and let the votes come out. I hope the votings are done. Given the paucity of time, let's move forward to the next evaluator, I guess, which is none other than evaluator Navya from again the virtual stage. Evaluator Navya, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritvik. Am I audible?
Yep, you are audible.
Yes, okay. So first of all, I would like to congratulate Toastmaster Aviral for completing his level 1 project 3 speech. And let me start with my evaluation. So what I loved about his speech was, like, in general, like the speeches that he has given till now, what I love is his storytelling skills. The way he starts with picturization, and it actually creates a proper image in our mind that what place he's talking about. I remember his last speech he gave, his experience of like the transfer to a new city. So this time it was about the way he fell in love with this new city after the change in environment and the change of friend circle, change in lifestyle, and still how gradually with the time he fell in love with with this new city. So the story that he depicted was very accurate, and that is something that I loved about his speech. Now the second thing is that the way he wrote the whole speech, the content was very logical, and the vocabulary, the phrases that were used in the speech were amazing. So these are the 2 commendations that I wanted to give and what I loved about his speech. Now coming to some recommendations. So this particular project, for this particular project, I was supposed to evaluate him on the basis of vocal variety. So that is something I felt which was little lagging, because there were a few instances where voice modulation was there, but still I think more can like you can improve a little more on that note. Apart from that, I would say, since you gave your speech online, so you could have just stood up and keep your camera a little farther, because in general when we sit and deliver speech and when we stand and deliver the speech, there is a lot of difference which actually shows in our delivery of the speech. So I think if you could have stood up and then delivered your speech, voice modulation could have been better naturally. So that is something I think you can improve a little more. Otherwise, I loved your speech. I loved the content. Just the voice modulation, it was there, but still there is a scope of improvement. So that's it. Back to general evaluator.
Well, thank you for the successful report. Well, now we have someone who is, I would say, a patron in evaluation, given the fact our international president had once nicely commented that in CDTM we have a by default general evaluator. Now, being a general evaluator and evaluating him is again an honor. So let's bring PM Ankit Sinha on the stage. Please come on the stage, sir.
Good evening and thank you for the kind words. Friends, there are two types of speech. In one of the speech, where only content is presented. That this is the content, this is the situation. There is another kind of speech where analysis is there. There is one mixed kind of speech where content is there, a situation is there, and analysis is also there on the same page. This is a speech that we have heard today from our speaker, Toastmasters. Great job, well done, very, very clear approach. Speaker was very clear from the very first line what is going to present. What I really love is that in spite of having contradictory views from the audience, he sticks to his main idea and presented continued till the end. Otherwise, most of the time what we see, something has come from the audience and the speaker has become leadership. Here, this was not the case. Next thing what I love that gestures were very, very natural. Either the content was very well rehearsed or speaker has so much belief that this is my content, I know about it, no help is needed. Audience engagement. So he knew, speaker presented some certain thing very intelligently, just like mini Punjab, mobile phone, then sudden one message has come. What he did in the initial 2 minutes, he tried to generate audience engagement by presenting some of the things which may not relate to the main topic, but just to have audience engagement, audience on his page. Very well organized. First, he developed the whole scene. He used the prop. And what was the main point? How he shifted the prop. That too while talking. Now moving on to certain areas where improvement is possible. Though he is a very good speaker and presented a well-crafted speech, just some of the points that he could work upon. First point is that while in his speech, one of the audience members took around 1 or 1.5 minutes. In a 7-minute speech, if you are going to give 1.5 minutes to an audience member, it's going to cost you. So in a limited time speech, what we can do is just ask a specific question to the audience. Don't give them room. The moment room is given, the speech or the content can go haywire. Second thing is that he has a habit to have a clap or like this. Would have been avoided. Next thing is that I believe content was very good. Just some pauses on it. Because you know the content, but audience doesn't. Just give some time to digest the content. Very good content. I love the clarity of the speaker because he always throughout the time he sticks to the main point. And all in all, I can say that objectives are all met since red card is out. All the best for the next speech. Thank you.
Yeah, surely it was a very holistic evaluation for the speaker. Now, without any further ado, let's again jump into the election process for the best evaluator. So the evaluators we had was, first we had PM Rashmi from the virtual stage, PM Navya again from the virtual stage, at the end PM Ankit, who you just saw. So kindly have a analysis of whom do you think was the best speaker, best evaluator, and whether they really did the work that you wanted from them. Kindly put in your vote and let the box roll. Has everyone voted? Is there any confusion? No, right? Okay, let's move forward to my evaluation for the evaluators out there. Well, first of all, we had evaluator Rashmi on the stage, who had a very well mentioned speech objective they mentioned in the introduction section of the speaker. She well mentioned all the intricacies that have to be mentioned in the introduction of a particular speaker, and she did the job pretty well. Now, the best part of her evaluation was it always had a positive note throughout, even in the recommendations part. Now, that's what makes our evaluation a good evaluation, because we are not here to judge as people who have come at a particular place to improve ourselves. Improvement, as I mentioned in my introduction, always come from positive feedback. So really, it was a very positive feedback. Great relevant suggestions being mentioned, but one suggestion will be again the lack of examples and the analysis in the form of apps. You heard it right, apps. Now for the speaker Kanav, it's really commendable that you are not finding that the level of confidence coming on the stage. You are still very confident. Some of these things will be maybe becoming, because now you are having the confidence of coming on the stage and not having the fear anymore. Let's now work on the content more in a more mature way. So maybe some Hindi comments may not be a better way in shrugging away maybe some points that you're at a loss of. So maybe when you are completely at loss of words or content, let's do something that is related to your subject, not make it immature, rather than let's make it something pretty serious or relevant to the content. For example, when you were saying about things like moving forward when some Hindi comments and something like that, we would have actually elaborated on the psychological term itself. Okay, so maybe you could have matched up Sigmund Freud with Palkiwala, for example, maybe in some way or the other, or in any sense, bring up some both intellectual, humorous, at the same time relevant to Toastmasters sort of content. It would really help. Or maybe a fun content from any of the judges' cases, because I know a lot of cases which are very humorous in the courts of law. So you could have bring them on the stage, making it more relevant to show people that you are not at a loss of content. Second, the second evaluator we had, evaluator Navya. Again, well-mentioned objectives at the beginning while you were introducing the speaker. The evaluation itself was very holistic. The points and parameters well-mentioned, but again, the lack of examples. What I mean by examples is something I'll be telling you just after I finish evaluating everyone, because it's something that most of the three of the evaluators haven't done. The last evaluator being for the speaker Sahajdeep, we had evaluator Ankit. Again, well-mentioned speech objectives at the beginning of the speech for introducing the speaker, as mentioned, but at the same time, he had also given some examples and did some actions, for example. So this action is something I am looking for in an evaluation. Though he had also had a lack of analysis, but still he did the job. For example, what I mean by examples here is, when a speaker, let's say you are saying, speaker, you are having a lack of voice modulation. So you mentioned that part of the speech where you didn't have voice modulation. For example, I am a good boy, but still I get punished. You could have said it like this: I am a good boy, but still I get punished. So taking the example from the speech where it didn't have voice modulation, and then you were acting the way it should have been. That's how you make your point testimonial. That's how you validate, verify your point. So that's what we search. Even these are some very key secrets from the ballots of the voting judges of evaluation content. A secret for all the out here. Second of all of the speakers came here or evaluators came here, and the only thing they lacked is this example, an analysis, and then giving a takeaway, and also maybe starting the speech with the best line. For example, if I was the evaluator of Mr. Khanna, I would have started the speech like this: a criminal is a criminal because he is unhappy, and a successful person is successful again because he is happy. Thanks to CM Khanna for giving us such insights. No wonder the content, but also the voice modulation was at point in his speech. We found something like this. So you are starting a speech with a quote, your takeaway from his speech itself. So that's how you actually boomerang that particular evaluation. Simple as that. That's simple. Giving examples. Simple. Let's, without any further ado, move forward with our opposite role players. I'll request them to keep their reports short because we are running short of time. So first we have time up Gurvanshdeep on the stage. Please come on the stage.
Okay, so the short crisp, that thing has been told to me before I start my report. So I quickly tell my report. The parliamentarian for the day took 1 minute and 29 seconds. The listener took 1 minute 7 seconds. The language evaluator took 1 minute 51 seconds. And the joke master, hello Mr. Joke Master, you took 3 minutes and 7 seconds. Speaker number 1. Now, can we have a huge round of applause for the speaker number 1 because he gave a great speech. But no worries, the speaker was just disqualified for just 10 seconds, so maybe we could cut short our speech. The speaker number 2 gave 5 minutes and 32 seconds. The speaker number 3 gave the speech for 6 minutes and 57 seconds. To talk about the table topic speakers, the table topic speaker 1 took 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Just saved by a second for disqualification. Table topic speaker 2 took 1 minute and 30 seconds. Table topic number 3 took 1 minute and 17 seconds. And table topic speaker 4 took 1 minute and 50 seconds. Now coming on to the wonderful evaluation. Evaluator 1 took 3 minutes and 7 seconds. Evaluator number 2 took 3 minutes and 26 seconds. And the evaluator number 3 took 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And that was all from my side. Over to you.
Amazing report. I'll come to that later. Now let's, without any further ado, bring the parliamentarian on the stage, the president of CDTM, Toastmaster Pradyum on the stage.
Keeping my report short and crisp, cameras were on most of the time, but we couldn't see anyone. The audio was muted. No one was indulging in any forms of eating, at least none that we could see. There were 3 to 4 instances of members entering without the applause going on. So I would request the members to keep that in mind. I would also request the members to always keep their phones on silent whenever they come to the meeting. With that being said, I would hand over the stage back to the general evaluator.
That's how a short crisp report looks like. Well, let's bring on the language evaluator, the English teacher of tonight, PM Pooja on the stage.
Hello everyone. Well, here's one thing that I can tell you all before. There was someone who was also noticing your long pauses, short pauses, and that was me along with being your language evaluator. I was also an counter for today's meeting, and I have the report here. So I'll first start with all the R's and ums that you've used in the meeting. Toastmaster Kanav used so 6 times, 8 times, I think 5 times, and long pauses 9 times. Toastmaster Aviral and Sanjeev for flawless. Toastmaster Bhavanand used so 5 times. And Toastmaster Navya used 8 times, 2 short pauses, and 3 times. Toastmaster Ankit, Toastmaster Ritik, they all were flawless. Now coming to the language evaluation part, word of the day was used 8 times. I'm so happy about it. And idiom was used 5 times. Not so good usage or wrong usage of words. In the last could have been at last, where everything is structured. We can say we have a structure. Vote nahi mil rahe is was said in Hindi, could have been translated. Similarly, couple of other sentences like पैसे जरूरी है, करना पड़ता है, 36 का आंकड़ा, अरे ये तो शेर है, इससे क्या डरना. All these could have been translated or spoken in English. So I highly recommend and request everyone to either speak in English or translate it in English if you're speaking in any other language apart from English. Also, it's virtual, not brutal, or someone said on a virtual stage, it's virtual stage. When you wake up, it could have been woke up, like it was supposed to be a past tense where somebody said when you wake up. Good usages to remain a bubble, paucity of time. With this, I would like to hand over the stage to General Evaluator.
So among the motley of auxiliaries we have added a 9. Let's bring on the next auxiliary player. Then other than the most interesting part, Rajna Dhanil. I don't know whether he has some goodies or not. Oh, he has.
Am I not bribing the audience?
You can.
I didn't count that. The rest, I have a 5-year-old child. So, no, it was a pin drop silent many times. I've seen even the small felling of paper and those sounds was clear. So everybody was so listening. So that is a very, it need applause. Everybody was. Okay, I would like to ask some questions. TM Digan was earlier member of how many clubs? Yeah. He told us. Okay, as per our president, TM, what is the one key component for a leader? He was the first one. Yeah.
First, raise your hands and then answer.
Yeah, Mr. TM Aravind, no. What did his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, initially ask to him? Can you, anybody else?
You write an essay on
No, I would say an article on why India, how can India become a superpower?
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Okay, again, now, according to T.S. Kanav, why should we join the Toastmasters? Okay. To gain confidence. Exactly. I'm sorry. Okay, now according to TM Sahajdeep, am I right? Yeah. What is the main reason for procrastination? Don't want to work. But the hand comes from there first. Okay, you directly jump to the answer, so we don't like to work. Okay, I think what? Yeah.
You can pass. Parliament is part of it.
Okay. So nice audience and very happy and delighted. Thank you.
So, okay, let's move to the evaluation of the observed pairs. And before that, we have let's not sit on the fence. Let's draw to a conclusion and bring on the best observed pair of today's evening. So kindly vote. We are having a shortage of time. Please do vote. Okay, so while you guys are voting, everyone has voted. Okay, let's move to the evaluation. So first we have timer Guruwan speak. Well, the art of sense of humor he used right since his introduction to his report itself was really, really commendable. Please do applaud for it. the smile on his face, along with those, the way he showed his card and the way he interacted with the audience, CDTM is great. So the thing is, in a timer role, it's really very hard for us to do some innovation, but the way he did it was really commendable. So that's how it deserves it. And no recommendations for you guys. The parliamentary presume was again, he was having audience awareness. He checked whether the mobiles were switched like off or not, sorry, silenced or not, though it didn't work out later. Whatsoever, the instructions were well mentioned, so kudos to him and no recommendations for him. The language developer, Pooja Kuteja, kudos to her for having a word which is not so common, but it was used so many times in the meeting. So kudos to you for choosing such word. At the same time, the idiom was also used a lot of times. So a huge applause for her too. And no recommendations for you. The listener, TM Dhanil, we had again, the intro was having some facts about the listening, which is again very commendable. The way you take all the things from listening and then made it to a role and then took all of that into consensus and put it in the audience is really commendable. And the report part was also pretty good. And joke master, Mr. Arvind, pretty relatable content, at least for some people. And again, as we all know, he's a very humorous person. Rather than maybe taking a note of the time will be much better because he was complaining about that. Whatsoever, let's move to the holistic evaluation of the whole meeting. The meeting did start on time. So please, a huge round of applause for the present silent the audience there. Because I believe if punctuality is a crime, she must be arrested. So whatsoever, it's really commendable because we always find her in time. One thing I want to say, before you maybe start clapping for announcing or proclaiming the start of the meeting, maybe just having a look outside, please do come at maybe 6:43 p.m. would have been better. Because I found a lot of members were not there. Including the president himself. So it's like, you got to know this. Otherwise, the things were well mentioned, maybe some practice, if you mumbled a bit, part of our is human, surely we can compensate that. The president came with a lot of huge energy. Are you all? That's how he roared when he took up the stage. And that's what makes the president the lion of the club, the lion of the forest, I would say. So it's really commendable because of invoking energy into the audience and then making the whole meeting roll. Whatsoever the power he had, the eye contact he had, the audience awareness he brought, the way he introduced the guests and had a conversation with them, he went on talking to the person in case he was having some problems on the stage. So all this cooperation, coordination, integrity is something that we all look into a leader, and that's what he actually portrayed. Again, the team came in, again with a lot of energy, all the three players coming with a lot of energy, as if it's none other than the mitochondria of YMCA. Whatsoever, I believe the emotional greeting he had while he was giving some insights about his past leadership roles, the way he was using some emotions at certain places was really, really commendable. And throughout the journey of today's session, you would actually threaded and made a content of everything, which is really commendable. One suggestion will be maybe using a voice modulation or maybe drawing some imageries and raising up your voice. When I'm saying voice modulation, raising up your voice to the next level, at the same time suddenly decreasing it to a great low to show the importance of the subject. Only suggestion for you, sir. And after the CTM is concerned, you really had some great topics. Kudos to you on that. Pretty relatable, though fictional, but still, it's really interesting to have some interesting topics on the stage. One suggestion will be you have a same rhythm while you speak. The graph of your rhythm is same. So kindly practice to bring up a break on that. The way I suggested him to sometimes bring a huge high and then low to show something important. Only suggestion, G was, I guess, pretty good in his report. For G, I would really recommend him to have some suggestions from the audience members. Without any further ado, let's bring on the topic of the today's evening.
Timor, Thanks, Mr. General Evaluator. So friends, I was talking to Navya and I was reluctant like anything to go for the grammarian role. Now, Navya said only one sentence. I want all of you to guess that one sentence that made me take grammarian role very happily. Floor is open, just raise your hand and we can go ahead. Okay, anyone else? Okay, anyone else? Good English. Okay, nice answer. Go. I think I have a good English. I'm preparing for it, but why? She would have said, how she would have been. She told me that Digan, if you are a grammarian, you will come to know, if you are a language evaluator, you will come to know various ways in which the English usage can be there. And also you will sharpen up your listening skills. So a vice president education knows the value of all the roles that are there in the system. There are motley of roles, motley of people, motley of mistakes, motley of challenges, and motley of scenarios in this entire maze of situations. How one can strategize? If you are a vice president education, you know it, how to strategize and move ahead. So friends, if you want to know how to strategize effectively, vice president education is the place where you should be. So friends, whether you are president, whether you are vice president education, whether you are vice president membership, whether you are vice president public relations, whether you are treasurer, whether you are secretary, whether you are sergeant at arms, it always strengthens your skills in a remarkable manner. And these 7 people are definitely called the best 7 volunteers of any Toastmasters club. And I remember it very well that after quitting, after ending her tenure as international president of Toastmasters International, DTM Lad Doli took up the role of sergeant at arms for her club. If she can do it, you all can. With this, I hand over the stage back to the presiding officer.
Actually, open to the president. Please, can I ask the tech master to launch the poll for the best role player? The role players for today were our Toastmaster Toastmaster Digan, our general evaluator Toastmaster Ritik, and our table topic master Toastmaster Bhavana. Please vote for the same. While the votes are being conducted, who do you think was the best speaker of the day? Was it Toastmaster Rashmi? Was it Toastmaster Kana? So sorry. Was it Toastmaster Aviral or was it Toastmaster Harishji? It was Toastmaster Sahilji.
Voting is done for the role of that.
Who do you think was the best evaluator? Was it Toastmaster Rashmi this time I'm correct? Was it Toastmaster Navya or was it Toastmaster Ankit?
Toastmaster Ankit.
It was indeed Toastmaster Ankit, who is not present over here. I will be keeping and giving his certificate back to him. Who do you think was the best table topic speaker? I do not correctly remember the name. It was guest Abhay, it was guest Nivesh, it was Toastmaster Rashmi, and it was Toastmaster Guruvansh. Yes, please. It was Toastmaster Guruvansh, please. Thank you. Who do you think was the best auxiliary role player? Was it our timer? Or Guru and speak, Toastmaster Guru and speak? Was it a parliamentarian, me? Was it a language evaluator and our counter, Toastmaster Pooja? Or was it a listener, Toastmaster Dhanan? Or a joke master, Toastmaster Arvind? It was indeed our language evaluator, come our counter, 2 double rows, Toastmaster Pooja. Who do you think was the best role player for the day? Was it our Toastmaster Degan? Was it our evaluator Toastmaster Vivek? Or was it our table topic master Toastmaster Bhavana? It was our genuine evaluator Toastmaster Vivek. As we all say, the part of the journey is the end. Just like that, our term as the EC is coming to an end. To get and acquire the new EC, we would be having our elections for the upcoming EC for the term that is January to June on 13th of December. Please give your nominations to our election chair, Toastmaster Ankit. Our election chair would be collecting the nominations for all the positions respectively. Secretary, Sergeant at Arms, Treasurer, VP Membership, VP Education, VP PR, and last but not the least, the President of the club. With that being said, I conclude the meeting. I request the guests to stay till the end for the guest briefing. Can everyone please come on the stage for a group picture?